Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on the sacral chakra or Svadhisthana. Physically, the sacral chakra is located in the hips and pelvis. It also houses the reproductive organs and the bladder. So naturally, the element of Svadhisthana is water. So the idea of water is that it flows, right? It flows down the path of least resistance. So it's this idea that we move easily and effortlessly through our life. Svadhisthana is also said to be the center of our creativity and our sense of pleasure as well. So with this idea in mind, I invite you to come to a comfortable seat. Just take a moment, maybe shift your hips, make sure that you're balanced underneath you and really feel grounded. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. Just start to deepen the breath. As you deepen the breath, maybe you call to mind an intention. You may already be working with an intention, but if not, I offer you a couple that may resonate. May I move through life easily and effortlessly. I am creative. I am passionate. I move like water. Taking a moment to call that intention to mind and repeat it to yourself 3 times. Now I invite you to start bringing in some movement. So you can take your hands, place them on the hips, and just in the seated position, we're going to practice pelvic tilting. So rolling over your sit bones, really feeling the front and the back of the hip bones. It can be subtle. You can even connect it to the breath a little bit. So inhaling, tilting forward, exhaling, tilting back. Okay. Now I invite you to start making circles with your hips. You can move your hands to your knees for a little bit more balance. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. You've gone a few circles in one direction. Make sure you balance yourself and go the other direction. Once again, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Really just bringing some awareness, some movement to the hips, the sit bones, the pelvis. When you feel balance in both directions, just come back to center, taking a moment to pause. See how you feel. Stacking your sacrum in line with your sit bones, the low back in line with the sacrum, the mid back in line with the low back, the upper back in alignment with the mid back, the neck in alignment with the upper back, and the head in alignment with the neck. Feeling the whole spine in alignment over your pelvis. One more big inhale. And open mouth exhale. Let it all go. So that one more time. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now roll over the tops of your shins. We're going to be coming into a tabletop position. Move through a couple rounds of cat-cow. It's again this idea of tilting the pelvis back and forth. Starting to move the energy more up and down the spine. So inhaling, arching the back. Exhaling, rounding the back. You can move through a couple rounds on your own. Take any movements that feel organic, easy, however your body is calling you to flow. Maybe you start to circle the hips, shifting the weight between your four limbs, each hand, each knee. You're doing circles, make sure that you go in both directions. And then coming back to center with a neutral spine, invite your right foot to extend back behind you, keeping the toes tucked, and shift the weight forward and back a little bit. Feel a long line of energy down the back of the calf, up the hamstrings and into the glutes. And then engaging the glutes, maybe the foot starts to hover off the ground. You can point and flex your foot. And then on an inhale, lengthen. And exhale, curl the knee in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. This time, keeping the knee tucked in, come to a more neutral spine, and then maybe you start to circle the hip. It's really waking up the pelvis, engaging the glutes, making circles in both directions. And when you feel balanced, you can set the knee down, refine your center, and just taking a moment and see how that feels. And when you're ready, you can take your left foot, extend it back behind you, tucking the toes, and then rocking forward and back. Inviting energy up through the foot, the calf, the hamstrings, into the glutes. And then on an inhale, maybe that foot starts to float up, lengthen, you can point and flex your foot. And on an exhale, curl that knee in, round the back. Exhale, extend out. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend. And exhale, curl. Keeping the knee tucked, come back to a more neutral spine, and then maybe you start to circle the hips. Circling that left hip around the ball and socket joint that it is. Engaging the glutes, going in one direction, and then moving in the other direction. Easily, effortlessly. You can set that knee down, Come back to center and push back to child's pose. Maybe you widen your knees a little bit, forehead to the ground. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips to the sky, straighten the legs to downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet a little bit. Shake your head yes, no. Eventually finding a place of stillness, eyes to navel, lengthening the breath. Then inhale, look up, walk your feet to the front of the mat, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way to stand, arms above the head, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samasthiti. Just taking a moment in your mountain pose, once again, to feel really grounded and rooted through the feet, and then inviting that energy up to the hips, bringing an awareness to how they sit in space. We'll start to move through some sun salutations. Inhaling, arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, you can come down to hands and knees or to plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, make your way to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms flat. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1. Feeling very even and balanced through your 2 hands and your 2 feet. 2. And imagining the hips being at the center of this triangle that you've created. 3. Sometimes it's helpful to imagine water spilling out of your pelvis, down your spine, out through your head. 4. 5. Inhale, look up. Make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Arms up, look up. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms flat. Make your way to low plank or chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1. And just as that water can spill over the top half of our body, 2. Imagining that water also spilling down the lower half of our body. Letting it wash over back of our hamstrings, our calves, the bottom of our feet. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up. Make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands touch. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now through sun salutations B, bend your legs deeply. Inhale, look up, arms up into chair. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, make your way to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Turning your left foot in, stepping your right foot forward, keeping that knee bent. Inhale to warrior 1. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Turning the right foot in, stepping the left foot forward, keeping that knee deeply bent. Inhale your arms up to warrior 1. Exhale, let it all go. Down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1. As we move through these sun salutations and vinyasas through the class, 2. It creates this idea of washing, rinsing, repeating. 3. It allows us to let go of what just happened and to be in the present. 4. 5. Inhale, look up. Make your way to the top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees deeply, engaging the glutes. Inhale, look up, chair. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more sun B. Bending the nails deeply. Uttakasana. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, make your way to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Turning your left foot in, stepping the right foot forward. Warrior 1 on an inhale. Exhale, all the way back down to chaturanga. You can always stay in high plank if this bothers your shoulders or wrists. Rotating the right foot in, left foot forward. Warrior 1, other side. Exhale, all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1, 2. Should be starting to feel a little bit warm through those sun salutations. 3. Maybe feeling your heart beat that blood, the water through our body. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up. Make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Bending your legs deeply, engaging the glutes. Inhale, Uttanasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. From here on an inhale, you'll step your feet a little bit wider, about the hips width distance apart. You'll forward fold, grab your big toes with peace fingers. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3. Softening the belly, allowing the hips to grow a little taller. 4, and 5. Inhale, half lift. This time, taking the palms of your hands and placing them underneath the soles of the feet. You're always welcome to bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release the hands from underneath your feet. Take them to your hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, stay. Inhale, rise back to stand. Bring your feet back together. We'll inhale, taking that right foot to the back of the mat, rotating our toes to the back of the mat, a fairly wide stance, about 4 feet apart. Inhaling your arms up, reaching forward, and then towards that either right big toe with peace fingers, shins, on the inside of the foot. Left hand up to the sky, Utthita Trikonasana. 1, keeping the breath slow and steady. 2, the breath is easy and effortless. 3, 4, 5. The strength of the top hand rise, rotating the toes the other direction towards the top of the mat. Reach forward, exhale, fold. Right hand to the sky, left hand to the shin or big toe. 1. You can take the eyes to the direction of the sky, to your top hand. If that's uncomfortable for your neck, you're always welcome to look down as well. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise. Once again, rotating the feet to the back of the mat. This time we're going to take our left hand, and that's going to go to our right foot or shin. Right hand to the sky in a revolved triangle. 1. If you have difficulty finding balance here, you're always welcome to widen your feet a little bit, more towards the width side of the mat. That creates more space for your hips. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Rotate, cartwheeling the hands to the front of the mat. Toes turned forward, right hand, left shin, big toes are outside of the foot. Left hand to the sky. 1, keeping the belly soft, thinking about lengthening out through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. We'll call that 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, unwinding, coming back to center, stepping to the top of the mat, Samasthiti. Reset. Once again, we'll take our right foot out to the side, a little bit wider of a stance this time, turning those toes towards the back of the mat, bending into the knee. You can place your right elbow on the shin and then the left arm up to the sky, creating this long line of energy to the left side of the body for extended side angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise, bending into the left knee, taking that left elbow to the left knee, wrapping the top arm up and over, creating a long line of energy from the right little toe all the way up through the right pinky finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back to center. We're actually going to go straight to the top of the mat, back to Samasthiti. Once again, reset. Then inhale, taking that right foot wide again, hands towards the hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Placing the hands to the mat in between your feet, dropping the head for wide angle forward fold. 1, 2. You're trying to find the center, making sure you're not too far back on your heels or too far forward on your toes, but the hips are in alignment. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up halfway. Place your hands on your hips. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Keeping your hands on your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Energetically bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. Hands remain on the hips. 1, 2, remaining engaged through the legs and the hips. 3, Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out to the side, look up. Exhale, place your hands behind you. You can grip the palms and fold. One, two, three, four, five. Inhale, come all the way back up. Release the palms. Inhale, arms up to the side, look up. Exhale, fold. Peace fingers to big toes. Look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. One, two. I always love these wide angle forward folds because it creates this beautiful image of an arch with our legs and then coming up to the top of our sacrum. Call that three. The arch is one of the strongest architectural structures that there is. Four. And the sacrum being that point of focus. Five. Inhale, look up, lengthen, release your hands to the waist. Exhale, inhale all the way back up. Back to Samasthiti. One more time, we'll take our right foot out to the side, a little bit shorter of a stance this time, rotating the toes to the back of the mat. You can do reverse prayer hands or grab opposite elbows behind your back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over that front foot. One, two, three, four, and five. Inhale, rise. Rotating to the top of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, folding over the left foot this time for pyramid. One, two, three, four, and five. Inhale, rise. Stepping that back foot forward, Samasthiti. Now we're gonna start to shift the weight into our left foot a little bit so we can take our right foot, inviting it to rise for a balance. Keep your hands on the hips, keeping your eyes focused on the drishti in front of you. Two, three. Maybe you start to play with extending the foot. Four, and five. Release. Do the same thing, other side, shifting weight into our right foot, inviting that left knee up to a single leg balance. One. May feel a lot of the glute medius engaging here on the right leg. Two. 3, maybe extending the hovering foot. 4 and 5. Release. We'll come into a seated pose via a vinyasa. So inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a moment in your downward dog. Preparing for the seated sequences next. So in order to get to a seat, if you know how to float through, I invite you to do that. Otherwise, you can step your feet forward, crossing at your ankles into a squatting position. Then taking your hands back behind you, shifting the weight, lift, and then straighten your legs and lower. We'll start in Dandasana, staff pose, hands by your side, feet flexed, very much a samasthiti type shape, only now we're sitting. 1, staying connected to the breath. 2, allowing the breath to wash over you. 3, 4, and 5. Come into a reverse tabletop from here. So moving your hands back behind you a little bit further. You can place your feet flat on the ground. And then pressing into your feet, into your hands, allow the hips to start to lift up to the sky. Do whatever feels comfortable for your neck, either keeping it forward, looking forward, or you can drop it behind you. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look up, lower the hips, release. You can start to strengthen the legs. Take a moment in Dandasana again. Inhale, exhale, let that go. And then reaching forward, grabbing your big toes, inhaling, look up, and exhale, fold. You're always welcome to bend your knees here if you can't reach your toes, or even grab your shins. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. This time, grab a little bit deeper. Maybe you scoot your hips back a little bit further, gaining some length in the back of the legs, the posterior chain. Exhale, fold. 1. Always allowing enough space for the breath to move easily and effortlessly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your legs, press into your hands, lift. And then you can roll over your shins or float through as we move through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, feet to the front of the mat, cross, move your hands back, lift, lengthen, and lower. We'll take our right foot next to our left thigh for Janusirsasana A. Inhale, exhale, fold. Reaching towards that left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift and lower. We'll move directly to the other side. Left foot comes to right thigh for Janusirsasana A, other side. Reaching for that right foot. Exhale, fold. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles. Plant your palms, lift. Lower, we'll move through a vinyasa. Roll over your shins to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling, feet to the top of the mat. Hands behind you. Lift, lengthen, and lower. We're going to move into Janusirsasana B. So we're going to bend that right knee again. This time we're going to place our hips, our perineum, the base of our pelvic floor, on top of that right foot. If that's uncomfortable, you're always welcome to repeat Janusirsasana A, where we just came from. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over that left foot. 1, 2. This creates an energetic connection between our root, our foot, and our sacral chakra, the perineum. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles in front of you, plant your palms, lift. Even if your bottom doesn't come off the floor, still push up. And then we'll move directly to the other side. So left leg's bent. You can set your hips on top of that left heel or repeat Janusirsasana A. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over that right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift. Lower, we'll move through a vinyasa, rolling over our shins to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, shins to the top of the mat. Move your hands back, lift, lower, and lengthen. We're going to move into the Marichyasana series. So we're going to take our right foot and plant it beside us. For this, I find it helpful to move the foot out a little bit just to create a little bit more space for my hips. Take our right hand and we kind of wrap it around our right knee for the bind, or you can take your left palm, place it out beside your mat, and reach that right hand forward to your foot. 1. Ultimately, Marichyasana A is a forward fold. 2. So don't let the bind compromise the breath. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up, release. Crossing the shins, planting the palms, lift. Lower, we'll move directly to the other side. So left foot plants on the ground, knee to the sky. You can either come into the bind by wrapping the left arm around the left knee, or you can plant the right palm off the side of the mat, reaching the left hand forward to the foot and fold. 1. 2. 3. The left hip is probably off of the floor. That's okay. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up, release. We'll move through a vinyasa. So cross your ankles, lift, lower, roll over your shins into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Either float through or go through this jump through that we've been working on. This time we're going to bend our left foot next to our right hip, but we're going to keep that right knee up to the sky. And we're going to, once again, fold forward. This time you can wrap that right arm around the right knee and fold. If this is too uncomfortable for your shoulders or your arms, you can place both hands out in front of you and forward fold. 1. 2. So Marichyasana B is very similar to A, only the opposite leg is bent in towards the hip. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower, directly to the other side. So this time right foot is next to the left hip, left knee up to the sky. You can either wrap and bind, or you can place both hands out in front of you for a forward fold. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Plant your palms, lift, lower. We'll move through vinyasa, rolling over your shins. Exhaling to chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, feet to the top of the mat, cross your ankles, move your palms back, lift, lower, and lengthen. We'll skip over Marichyasana C and go to Marichyasana D. So similar feet as last time. That left foot comes up to the right hip bone. right knee up to the sky, but this time we're going to twist. So place your right hand behind you. You can either hug that left knee, maybe that elbow comes to the outside, or maybe you go for the bind. Either way, really thinking about a long spine that's in alignment, less of a ow, we're not necessarily trying to twist our neck too far, but more like a giraffe. We're trying to think about lengthening up through the spine. We'll call that 3. 4. And 5. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower, do the same thing on the other side. So crossing the legs the opposite direction, left knee to the sky. You can either hug that knee in with your right arm, left hand behind you. You can bring that elbow to the outside of the leg, or go for the bind. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Exhale, let it all go. Cross your ankles, lift, lower, move through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Once again, we'll jump through back to our seat. We're going to move into Navasana, or boat pose. So shifting your weight back, maybe you grab your knees to begin with, lifting your feet off the ground, eventually releasing your hands, maybe even straightening the legs. 1. 2. 3. So while the power may be coming from the core here, really our stability or our balance is coming from our sacrum. 4. 5. Exhale, release, cross the ankles, plant the palms, lift. Lower, straight back into Navasana. 1. 2. Helps a smile. 3. 4. And 5. Release, cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift. Exhale, Navasana. We'll make this the last time. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Exhale, release, plant your palms, lift, lower. We'll move through a vinyasa one last time, rolling over your shins to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. I'm going to jump through one last time, this time making our way to our back. Knees up, soles of the feet on the ground to a bridge pose. Just taking a moment and checking in. Feeling your heart, feeling your breath. Feeling the energy moving through your body. Taking your arms beside you, start to engage into the feet, and then invite the hips up to the sky for a bridge pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Releasing the hips back to the earth. Taking a moment, taking a breath. And move through that again. Inhaling, feeling your hips off the ground, up to the sky. This time, maybe you bend your elbows, place your hips into your hands, creating a little prop or a table for your hips, but still remaining engaged. Engaged through the glutes, engaged through the back body, pressing into the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release the hips, come back to ground, taking a moment to check in. We've done a lot of forward folds this class, so now as we work into back bends, we're reversing the flow of energy a bit. You're welcome to repeat either versions of the bridge that we did, or whatever calls to you. If you want to go into full wheel, plant the palms beside your ears, elbows and knees to the sky. And then on a long exhale, peel your hips off the ground, push your hips to the sky. 1, 2, 3. Long, full breaths. Allow the breath to wash over you easily and effortlessly. 4, and 5. Come down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Release, taking a moment to check in. Maybe hug your knees in, start to rock and roll over the back of your spine. So you find yourself back into a seated position. Into Dandasana. We're going to move into a forward fold just to reverse that wheel a little bit. 1, 2. You may start to notice the heart starts to slow down. 3. We'll start to hold these asanas a little bit longer. 4. So we start to cool the body. 5. We'll go to 8. 6. 7. And 8. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Make your way all the way to your back again. This time we're going to keep our hips on the ground. You may even want to place your hands underneath your hips. That feels a little bit more stable for you. Then we're going to invite the feet up to the sky, or legs up the wall pose. 1. Taking a moment of gratitude for all of the strength and stability that our legs provided us for this class. 2, allowing that energy and prana just to flow down from the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, and into our hips. Go for 3 more breaths. Call that 6, 7, and 8. Bend the knees. Maybe give yourself a hug. Rocking from side to side, massaging out the low back. And here, keeping the right knee bent into your chest, extend out the left leg long. Maybe you start to invite that right knee over to the left side body for a twist, extending out the right hand to a T. Taking a moment just to ring out the practice. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale back to center. Bringing the left knee in, extending the right leg long. Taking a moment here first. And inviting that left leg over the right body, extending the left arm long into a T. Just for a little supine twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling back to center. Bringing in both knees to the chest. Maybe you grab the outside of your feet, come into a happy baby. Taking a moment to just open up the hips. Shining the sacral chakra to the sky. You feel ready coming into your Shavasana shape, whatever that may look like today. Just taking a moment to feel your body relax into the earth beneath you. Starting to let go of the breath, let go of the practice. Taking a moment just to release. Be imagining clear, cool water starting to just wash over you, starting at the crown of the head, flowing down to your third eye, washing over your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, down your neck and shoulders, allowing that water to flow across your chest, down your arms, elbows, wrists, fingers. And this pure, clean water descend down your torso to your belly, to your hips, allowing it to fill the bowl of your pelvis, and flowing down your thighs, your knees, your shins, ankles, and out your toes. Know that you can stay here for as long as it serves you. For now, I extend my gratitude to you, to myself, for showing up, for taking the time to arrive on our mats today. May you move through the rest of your day with a sense of flow and with ease. Namaste.